What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all on Analysis Playground on YouTube. Also, we're gonna talk about the Knicks getting blew out by the Nets. This was an embarrassing, this is a disgrace of a game. The Knicks didn't seem like they knew anything that they wanted to do. I didn't really understand their game plan. They didn't play defense until the second half when the game was basically over, and the confidence of the Nets was just too high. The Knicks needed to win this game too just for momentum. To me, honestly, I really didn't understand what they was trying to do offensively either. They really didn't get any identity solved at all throughout the game. They never really made a legitimate run. The game was basically over in the first quarter, and then the Nets just rolled it to victory. You never really see that happen that often in the NBA as a team always make a 10, 15 run and it just didn't happen at all this game. Unfortunately for the Knicks, this is an embarrassing loss. Not much to take from this game. Not much to take from the effort, the energy, the play. Randall was the only person that really kept them in the game because of his first quarter with 15 points, and then he tailored off too and ended up only with 24 points by the time the game was over, which was a disappointment. He did finish with 24 points and 10 defensive rebounds, 11 rebounds total. He was a negative 29 and plus minus. He did grab 3 assists also. He was 6 of 9 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from the 3 point line, 7 of 15 from the field. A solid game for Randall when it comes to individual stats. Just not a great game when it comes to offense and defense for him. He hit some tough threes in the beginning, shot 50% from 3, 4 of 8, like I said before, but it didn't really matter as they didn't get no stops and they were just very lackadaisical defensively. So he scored points to keep them afloat, but it didn't really matter because they didn't come nowhere close to making a comeback in the second quarter where they was outscored 22 to 31 and 22 to 38 in the first quarter, and then they never really made much of a run after that. Like I said before, Jericho Sims had 7 points, 6 rebounds. Not a no-show for him to me too. 3 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. The numbers look better from what you want, but you would think that he'd do better. Honestly, Cam Reddish started this game, didn't play well in 18 minutes. 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 1 assist, just terrible to me. Jalen Brunson had a solid game. You expect better from him. 14, he was a negative 22. Jericho Sims was a negative 7. Cam Reddish was a negative 17. They had 3 turnovers, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Jalen Brunson had 14 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. He also had 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 1 of 5 from three, with 4 of 14 from the field. Couldn't get it going from three, even though they was wide open a lot of those attempts out of the five. Also was 4 of 14 on layups and floaters. Just couldn't get it to go. They made it tough. Nicholas Claxton should get the most credit for that. I think KD and Royce O'Neal was solid too on that end. Same with Sumner. Honestly, RJ Barrett had another okay-ish game. 16 points for him. He was a negative 22 and plus minus. 3 turnovers. 1 steal, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. He was 4 of 8 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from three, but it didn't really matter because they got blew out in the first half. And 5 of 14 from the field. Not what you want to see, but he struggles getting buckets outside of layups and spot ups. You want him to have more handles. You want him to be able to create more off the dribble, especially if he can do a stop and pop mid range or a floater push shot from 12 to 15 or 5 to 10 feet in. That'll help get him some easier buckets and more efficient shots as they always leave him open around there before he gets all the way to the basket. That's something that he should consider. Obi Toppin, a no-show game, along with Isaiah Hartenstein. Derrick Rose was a 0 point game for him. Miles McBride, 0 points. Evan Fournier has 6. He was solid, but still didn't defend well. Didn't really play that smart for the entire bench. Luke, 6 points for him. Didn't play that well to me. He brought the best energy off the bench, but didn't defend well. Quickly, couldn't make a shot. He was a negative 17. Obi Toppin was a negative 19 and plus and minus. Quentin Grimes, people wanted to see him get more minutes. They mad at Tom Thibodeau for that. Didn't play well or defend well to me in this game either. 3 points, a 1-on-1 from the field because it was a 3 point shot. And Archie Diacono, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Didn't play well to me. Also, Derrick Rose had his 2 assists and 2 rebounds. He was 0-4 from the field, 0-3 from the 3 point line. Couldn't really get to the basket with handle or without turning the ball over. Even though I say he had zero, he had one that was off his leg. Isaiah Hartenstein had 2 points. Yeah, 5 rebounds. He also was 1 or 2 from the field. Just a solid game from Hartenstein, but not to overcome the Nets. The Nets was blazing. They was really coming at them hard. They really wanted to send a message. I do like the fact that Jacque Vaughn got hired as the head coach for the rest of the season. Just give them somebody that they're used to. Give them somebody that has a 7-3 record as an NBA coach. You don't really need to make a big move just because you don't really know what's going to happen with Kyrie in free agency. I know that they got Kevin Durant signed for 4 more years, but until you know what's going to happen with Kyrie, whether he gets traded or whether he leaves in free agency or you do a sign and trade, you don't want to rush to get a head coach that's going to be in there. And KD, you don't really know. He's always wanting to leave, always wanting to stay. You don't really know what you're going to get out of Kevin Durant. 1 minute he wants to join a team to win a title, then he wants to build his own team, then he wants to blow that up, then he wants to stay and work it out with Kyrie and Steve Nash, then he wants Steve Nash and Sean Marks fired, Steve Nash get fired, Sean Marks still is there, even though he dug them out of that hole and got them Kyrie and KD and Harden and rebuilt it with them still having Ben Simmons. It made sense to keep Sean Marks because he did his job excellent, and he also hired the coach that they wanted, and they also was going to hire Ime, but that wasn't the guy I think they needed. I think Jacque Vaughn gives them more energy, more spirit. He's more of a calm guy. He gets at you when he needs to. He expects you to run the offense, expects you to play well. And I felt like they played with more energy. The ball had energy, and it was contagious. Everybody was moving and trusting, playing free. Kind of reminded me of the Warriors when they had Kevin Durant, just because they had Seth Curry back, another guy that can put the ball on the floor, dribble, handle, and shoot the ball. Just gave them something else that they was missing. Because Joe Harris is a standstill guy. Same with Nicholas Claxton. He only can really hit a push out or a dunk. It just gave them another weapon that they was missing. It would be fun to see what happens when Kyrie comes back and Seth Curry's on the court with them. I also like what I seen out of out of Royce O'Neal. He played well defensively. KD had a triple double, 29 points, 12 assists, 12 rebounds. He was a plus 32 and plus minus. He also had 2 blocks, 1 turnover, 1 steal. He also was 8 of 10 for the free throw line, which was great. Didn't shoot well from three, 1 of 5, but he was 10 of 19 from the field, above 50%. Royce O'Neal was a plus 44. Like I said, he had an excellent offensive and defensive game. 10 rebounds for him total, 5 assists, 2 steals. He also had 1 turnover, 2 of 4 from the 3 point line, 50%, 2 of 7 from the field. Nicholas Claxton had a great defensive game to me, 5 of 7 from the field. Really kept RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson, and Derrick Rose out of that paint. 2 of 5 from the free throw line. He had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and he also had 4 personal fouls, but he ended up with 12 points. Joe Harris had 10 points, 4 of 11 from the field in 32 minutes. 2 of 6 from the 3 point line. He's missed some wide open threes that he normally would make, still catching his rhythm. He needs to get that back if he really wants to be a factor. Didn't really play that well ultimately to me. He also had 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. 18 points for Sumner. He had 7 of 10 from the field, 3 or 4 from the 3 point line, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Morris had 0 points in 5 minutes. Duke had 9 minutes total. He was 1 or 2 from the field, 2 points, 1 steal, 1 rebound. Edwards had 0 points, 0 of 1 from the field, negative 14 from Duke, -3 for Morris, -5 for Edwards. Sharp had a -5, but he did have 2 rebounds total, no points. Patty Mills had no points, but had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 0 of 3 from the 3 point from the field, 0 of 2 from the 3 point line. Ben Simmons had a solid game. He was a plus 18 with them shooters out there. He also had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. He did have 2 costly turnovers and four personal fouls. Seth Curry, I should say, 23 points, plus 11 off that bench, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 of 11 from the 3-point line, 7 of 13 from the field. Just shot the ball well, kept probing the defense, using his handle to find guys and setting good screens to get guys open, just like Ben Simmons did. And Cameron Thompson, ever since Steve Nash got fired, he got more minutes. 22 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, and 1 personal foul. You want to see more out of Ben Simmons and more from Seth Curry. I know he came back from injury. You want to see Seth Curry in the 28 to 32 minutes per game. He should be getting more minutes than Joe Harris. He actually should be starting. And I think Ben Simmons had played excellent tonight. I think his defense was better. He didn't really look to score. That's not his game, but he did rebound the ball well. He did find some guys for some easy opportunity like he usually do, and then with 4 assists, and he did set some better screens that he'd been setting before. I do want to see him get back up into the 30s, as they do need him as a facilitator and as a playmaker and as a defensive guy. I want to see him play a little bit more center, just because I don't really like Nicholas Claxton as a perimeter defender. He's better as an interior defender. So I think Ben Simmons definitely has to start as a perimeter defender once his back is feeling well and once he's starting to get more loose. He did have a dunk that he looked good. He got up. He dunked it. He had some energy after it. He didn't grimace. He didn't look like he bent over. He looked like he was loose and free. That's a good sign. And same with Steph Curry. He looked it loose and free. He handled well. He moved without the ball. He was relocating, something that Joe Harris hasn't really done that well this season. And he just adds another playmaker and ball handler and another decision maker. Him and Kyrie should be well better. I mean, show KD well, because if they're breaking down the defense and looking for guys, that helps the offense keep moving and flowing. That's something that Ime does, but Jacque Vaughn is already a head coach, and it makes sense that if he can do it and he coached with Ime before, you might as well just keep the guy that you're used to and you're comfortable with, as they already had Jacque Vaughn as an assistant coach for multiple seasons, and he already been a head coach with Kyrie and KD and Kyrie already there before, and he already has an established relationship with them, and he has a trust system with them already, and I think that's very important when you're trying to build a winning culture, something that they haven't really done. I know they made it to the playoffs the 3 seasons, or the 4 seasons that they've been in Brooklyn. Even the first season when KD and Kyrie wasn't really healthy, they still did make the playoffs that year, and that was a bubble season. And then they made it the last 3 years, because I'm going to count them in this year because of the play-in. But I do think that this is interesting to see if their offense can click and they put a little bit more passion, a little bit more care into their defense. This team could be a top 12 defensive team and a top 5 offensive team. That could be a real threat and a real dangerous team in the NBA. But they did it the last 2 games. Can they do it the next 2, 3 games? Is about consistency. If you want to be great, you got to build those habits. You got to grow those habits. And this team is going to be pretty much the same for the rest of the season, outside of Kyrie getting moved. I don't think Kyrie getting moved is the worst thing, just because they still do have Ben Simmons, who does play well with KD, Steph Curry, and guys like Royce O'Neal, because he is a non-scorer. He can facilitate, he can set screens, and he can push the ball in transition and get those guys easy opportunities in the layups and the threes. And he can also get layups and dunks for himself, like he proved tonight. And he do have a little push shot in the paint, which he did hit tonight. And he can catch lobs and alley oops and finishing around the basket, just like Nicholas Claxton. But they need somebody that can defend on the perimeter with Royce O'Neal, and that's what Ben Simmons is there for. You just hope that Joe Harris get took out the starting lineup and they add in Kyrie and Seth, and that should be able to fix their offensive woes. And Seth is a solid defender too. And then you put him with Royce O'Neal, and you put him with Ben Simmons and KD, and now you're looking at a better team. Nicholas Claxton should come off the bench for Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons should be your starting center, just because he's more versatile. He can protect the basket and he can protect the perimeter as a decoy or a Roman defender, something that he did well in Philly, which made him finish second and runner-up in Defensive Player of the Year in multiple seasons to Rudy Gobert and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Other than that, Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of y'all day. I'll be coming back to y'all with the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Instant analysis later tonight. Other than that, see y'all later.